First off, let me just say that this fabulous new E-Class is definitely not the mini S-Class everyone's talking about. Strictly judging by the pictures, you could say that. But if you've driven an S-Class recently, you know that that car is in a league of its own. The way you sit in the S-Class, the refinement and exclusivity you get with it will not be matched until the new generation comes out. So any comparison between this car with its bigger brother won't do anything but damage the wonderful car that the E-Class is. If you want, you can look at the new E-Class as a more grown-up and more refined C-Class, with a fabulous interior. So let's leave aside the comparisons with the S-Class and start putting some miles on this car. Have a look at the exterior. This is how a car in this class should look like. The long bonnet gives it an elegance of its own, never before seen in this segment. We're driving the entry-level diesel today, the 220D, equipped with the new 2-liter engine that replaces the old 2.1. It's capable of producing 194 brake horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. The car feels very lively on the road and the torque comes in at very low RPM, making the acceleration from 0 to 100 km/h possible in just 7.3 seconds. And beside the fact that it's pretty fast, it also has a very nice sound to it when you rev it out, of course, because at cruising speed you can barely hear it. And even though this E-Class is just rear-wheel drive, this doesn't at all translate into a sportier handling. The back of the car is very well planted on the ground. No surprise there since we have a 275 rear section tire, but the body roll is quite significant. This really took me by surprise, considering the fact that this car is equipped with the optional AMG pack, which beside the fabulous 19-inch wheels, front and rear AMG style bumpers, has a 10mm lowered sport suspension. A suspension system that should, according to Mercedes, read the road ahead and adjust the shocks accordingly. But from what I've experienced in the 2 days of testing, this agility control system kind of forgets about the sporty side. But shortly after, I realized I was driving an E-Class, a car designed to be as comfortable as possible. That being said, the steering is quite good around corners. And finally, Mercedes is starting to understand and perfect this electrically assisted steering. The feedback is not quite there, but it's very precise and it allows you to place the car just perfectly on the road. Even in comfort mode, the steering weights up nicely and that artificial feeling you get from other Mercedes cars is gone. Our test car was pretty well equipped. It's got the full AMG pack, both on the inside and outside, which gets you some fake leather on the dash, a multifunctional sports steering wheel, and an analog clock. Beside that, we also have these quite cool heated and ventilated sport leather seats. There's also a pair of full LED lights with high beam assistant, a panoramic roof, and soft close for the doors. More so, the car has the command online system fitted to it, equipped with a gorgeous 12.3-inch screen that can also be controlled from the steering wheel with a simple swipe, just like on a smartphone. It has a 1920 by 720 pixel resolution, and in my opinion this is the best screen ever fitted to a car. And as always, the new E-Class lineup is as diverse as ever. You can choose between this sedan version, the coupe, the cabriolet, the estate, and this all-new model never seen before from Mercedes. Brand new E-Class All-Terrain. This is Mercedes' response to the Audi A6 Allroad and to the Volvo V90 Cross Country. But to me, it feels more like an experiment than an actual permanent fix in the E-Class lineup. It's only going to be sold in Europe, you only have the option to choose between two diesel engines, and if you take away the plastics on the body, the extra ride height, this is basically a regular E-Class estate. Who knows, if they sell enough of these, maybe we'll see some proper engines fitted to it. And why not a C-Class all-terrain? But enough about that, let's see what this car is all about. Today we're driving the E220D, which means that up front we have a 2-liter diesel unit capable of producing 194 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, and it can take the car from 0 to 100 km per hour in 8 seconds, and its top speed is 231 km per hour. Even in the regular E220D, the engine kind of struggles with the weight of the car, but in this one, that's over 1.9 tons in weight, it's even worse. You can definitely feel the weight of the car each time you touch the accelerator, and you will have to start to plan your overtakes in advance. That being said, the engine is really quiet, the car is really refined, and around town you won't feel that the car is underpowered, as the torque comes in from low down in the RPM range. The all-terrain rides 29 mm higher than the regular estate because of the bigger wheels fitted to it and the 15 mm suspension lift. The car we're driving today has the air body control suspension, which means that we basically have air suspension front and back. And if you put the car in all-terrain mode, the car will lift itself another 20 mm into the air. There's also a setting for full-on rock crawling that increases the ground clearance to 156 mm. And despite that, I really do think that the 5er Touring we drove a couple of months ago was more comfortable and more refined than this one. I don't know why, but when the suspension hits smaller bumps that are close to each other, it gets kind of noisy and it really rattles the car too much, in my opinion. And while the sedan version in this video has the black AMG interior pack, this all-terrain version has the avant-garde macchiato one. And well, just look at it. This interior is fabulous, from the fit and finish to the materials and all the way to the actual design of the dashboard. It really is from a different planet. It's absolutely gorgeous. The E-Class all-terrain is a really interesting car in my opinion, and from my point of view, a fan of sedans and coupes alike, this type of car is much more interesting than a regular touring one. I don't know, they just look a bit more massive than the regular ones, they have more road presence, and they are another good reason why you should stop buying those ugly SUVs. So please let me know in the comment section below what's your pick from the new E-Class range. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content to come.